Okay, so the purpose of this video is very briefly to show how we use 25 to life on the harmonic scanner, taking the D point for a buy limit. So first of all, we have plotted on, or you can just use it off the harmonic scanner itself, which is part of our Educational Institute. If you want to know more about that, reach out to me. So once we've plotted the scan on here, then on our trading view where we do our chart analysis, I'm on the hour. I'm going to go to the hourly time frame because it's an hourly scan, and just magnify it here so you can see more clearly. I've put the scan on, it's locked in place, I know it's accurate. Ignore these lines behind it, these are pitchforks that I use for another strategy. Now, in order to do the 25 to life strategy, you need to take, bearing in mind that this trade is actually played out, but pretend as if we don't have any of these candles to the right. So you're going to take the D point and you are going to look for the candle, either the second candle to the right of the D candle or the second candle to the left, and you're going to choose the one that's furthest away from the D point. So in this case, 1, 2, 1, 2, it's going to be this blue one here. And then we need to find the point at 50% of that candle, which is going to form what we call the breakout zone. And the D point forms our stop loss. So we come over here to the left-hand menu and we find our fib retracement tool here, and it's got a particular setting on it. I've got the, I'll take off the padlock, we've got the magnet on, and I'm going to change the settings, but we'll put the fib on the D point, that pink line 100% wicked on the magnet, sucked on the end of the wick, and then our 0% is going to be placed at halfway. Sorry, because I need to probably take the magnet off to do this. It's trying to find the ends of other wicks. So you can measure this precisely using your measuring ruler here, particularly if it's a bigger candle. Try and get it precise, but for the purposes of this demo, I'll leave it like that. So it's 50% of the body. Now, sometimes people do 50% of the whole thing, including the wicks, which you know you can do as well. It will push it out a bit further. So it's a bit of a judgment call. I tend to do 50% of the body, so I'll just leave it there for the moment. And then this is our, oh, it has worked out because that's our profit line. That's very strange. I was doing a demo of showing a sell scan, and I said you had to change the profit line, but that is the profit line up there. So that's working. So the green line is going to be your profit line. The 0 line is going to be what we call our breakout zone. And the 25% line is going to be where we will set the pending order, and I'll write that in here. So when you come onto your trading platform, MT4C Trader, it's a pending order, and this one is going to be called a buy limit, and that's going to go exactly. It's going to, we want it to trigger when price hits that blue line outside of the structure of the D point plus the 2 candles. So any point after this second candle here. So if I draw it on using the brush, we're going to look for price to come out past that candle there. It's got to come out of that breakout zone, and then it doesn't matter when it takes place, but you've got to wait for it to, it hasn't, you see where I've drawn it up here, it didn't break out of it, it broke out of it here. So you've got to wait in this trade for it to finish and come right back down until it triggers, and it does just trigger on that green one, but it might not trigger till there because your broker's spread and commission might be slightly different, or you might have drawn this bit slightly differently. So it might trigger, it might not trigger on that first green one, but it will trigger on that second green one. sell candle because it's now hit the blue 25% entry line. So if we then, just to finish off, if we then take the slider bar, this one here, and we want a long position, called a long position for a buy, and you're going to place that on your blue line somewhere here, and these will be the parameters that you will put into your pending order, and it won't trigger until it hits this blue line. Can't see it myself. This blue line, should have got an arrow rather than pending order. There, it's going to trigger there. So you want to put your where the red meets the green, where the rubber meets the road, you want to put that exactly on the blue line as your entry point. Your stop loss is going to be the pink, so drag it down 40 pips, quite a big stop loss in this instance. Comparatively, we'll see what the risk reward ratio is, and then up to the green line, which is 57, we'll probably call it 55. So that's your minimum. So depending on, so you've got a 1 to 3.6, that's quite a big stop loss, but you do need it covering that D point to be safe. Now, when you set the pending order, the buy limit, you will put in these figures and they appear on the right hand side. So in red, 1.66162 is going to be the stop loss you will enter, and 1.66569, that blue line, the grey, is your entry, and then the green, you can set a take profit for 1.67122. Now, sometimes if you're manually watching the trade, say you were watching this and you'd seen that price had now got you in, it had come back and retested the entry, then it stalls out, then it's taking off, and it's coming up to hit your profit level. If you see that flat bottom candle, that blue one, you know, and you're actually following it, I'm on the hourly chart, these are quite big candles, but you could come down to the 15-minute time frame and you might be able to get some more pips out of this if you were manually closing out. And if you did, you could take that right up to 85 pips, in which case you're a 2 to 1, which is very nice against the 40 pip stop loss. You've done your 1 to 2, which would be a very nice trade indeed. Okay, so that, I'll just stop recording. That's everything on that. I don't think I've forgotten anything.
That's great. That helps.
And I'll just yeah, I'll just find the stop recording under there. Stop recording.